Hello all, this is Nick from Raw Skills, Bushcraft, Survival and Adventures. Thank you for joining me on this gloriously windy day out in the woods. So I'm wandering around looking for some nice softer woods in a hardwood forest for some bow drill fire techniques, and playing around with different species and seeing what I can get ember out of. And I just came across this group of trees here with a nice bit of moss growing on the bottom of it. And I wanted to quash a myth that's going around out there. That green moss is a reliable way to tell which direction to travel. Okay, so let's look at it. I'm going to quash that myth right now. So let's look at this tree right here. This is a nice big tree, pretty good example of this. So you could say to yourself, okay, the one side of the tree here is north. So let's look at the compass, little button compass I carry with me now. So you can say that is north on this tree, and that is south on this tree. So let's look at that. Let the compass cell, yeah, there you go. So technically this tree, going by the moss and by that technique, you can tell yourself, okay, that's north, that's south. But is that true? Is that reliable though? Let's look at this second tree over here. Again, look at this tree. Okay, the other tree's just there, south, north on that tree. But look at this tree right here. Let's look at that. That moss is growing on the south side of that tree. And there's moss on the back too. There's moss growing all the way around this tree. And let's go over to this tree right here too. Just for 3 to 3, and this one here is a little bit the same as the first tree I showed you, where there's less moss growing on the one side than the other. But one thing we can gather from this tree, we can gather a southerly direction on this tree using moss, because look, there's a brown moss. Wherever you see a nice brown, sort of yellowy, sort of browny moss, that is a great indicator of south. Because the brown type moss does not like a lot of damp and does not like a lot of wet. So it prefers to grow in the more sunnier side of the tree. Whereas the green stuff, it'll grow wherever it can get a lot of water. And the green stuff isn't reliable for telenavigation, but wherever you see this brown moss, that's a great indicator of the southerly direction. If you look at that right there, there you go. So yeah, don't use green moss for navigation. It's unreliable and could get you lost. So that's that myth quashed. But wherever you see a yellow moss, take that as south, because the yellow moss typically does not like to grow in very wet areas.